The widow, people would say, move on, find your happiness. You're gonna find love again, but you can't. It's just so hard to process everything in a second. And yes, you do want to find your joy and content again, but it's not as easy as people think it is. You're not in a stage of where you want to be happy and find content when you're grieving and you're in pain, and learning how to grieve, and not even learning, learning the new you, because grieving never stops. It's part of you and it's part of your pain, but it's not easy to find your joy and content if you're dealing with so many things. And if you have a family, now you have to see how the kids are as well. And that becomes another process because the kids are also grieving their dad. And depending the age of them, it's hard for them to process that they're never going to see them again, see him again. So you're dealing with that too. And that's not easy either, dealing with grieving kids at all, because each each child grieves differently. It's not like you have a, it doesn't come like, we can't look at a manual and see what type of what how to deal with grieving. It doesn't work like that. Grieving works differently for everybody. And yes, we have one thing in common. I lost my husband, my best friend, and the boys lost their friend and also their dad. So it's not an easy thing. It's a hard thing to process, especially when it's unexpected. So these are things that helps me through my journey of grieving, that I hope it helps you too. There's 5 things that have helped me, and I didn't use these 5 things. These are 5 things within time, like 5 key things that help me to move forward, because now you have a new life and you have a new you to discover who you are and the grieving process, because you're not the same person that you was before. So, the first thing is checking your mental health. Checking your mental health for you and your family is number one, because without your mental health, you cannot neglect it. That's so important. It's as much important as is physical health. Taking care of you, making sure you are taking your supplements, making sure you're eating right, because now you're the only parent for your children. So you got to take care of you. Mental health for your kids as well. Checking up on them and seeing where they're at mentally is a necessity. Learn different things of mental health. Go to the gym. Pick up a Pilates class, a yoga class, something that you enjoy. If you don't like to go to the gym, do a nature walk to clear out your mind. Being surrounded by nature and beauty is so helpful. It clears up your mind. Learn how to meditate. Meditating is another wonderful thing for the mind, to silence the minds. I picked up meditation. At first, it was really hard for me to do meditation, but within time, and it's still a struggle for me now. But increasing your time, you start off with 3 minutes and then you end up 5. Right now, I'm learning to meditate for 7 minutes, so I'm proud of me. Learning to journalize. I'm sorry, journalism, writing things down of your feelings. Um, Being surrounded by loved ones, because now your friends dynamics change. You don't have friends that you used to have, so things are different now. If you used to have a lot of married couples, you don't really associate yourself with the married couples because it just becomes different. It's not the same anymore. So don't isolate yourself. Surround yourself with friends and family that love you and can support you. If you feel like you're way too depressed and you feel like, you know, you just are feeling way too sad and way too depressed, Look into therapy. Look into support groups that can help you with your mental health. Because I said this, as I stated before, mental health is the number one key in order for you to put one foot in front of the other. It's necessary. Um, Create a hobby. Maybe you want to go do a hobby that you never did before. Learn how to do flower arrangements. You learn how planting, doing planting that helps as well too with your mental. The second one is finances. Finances, because now you are the only person that is providing for your home. You have one income, so you got to realize if you were a stay-at-home parent, now you got to go back to the workforce and and see what type of jobs that you want to do. If you want to go back to school and maybe you want to do a career change, go back to college. Google Classroom has a lot of certificates, and some of the classes are so affordable. So look into that. Um, so now you have to really check on your finances and see where you need to like learn how to budget if you didn't know how to budget before, because now you're, as I stated, you have only one income, so now you got to budget on that. So now you got to focus on the finances and seeing if you are going to keep the job that you're in or if you're not. So now, if you are a worker, take some time off when you lost your loved one. I took 4 days off from work, and it was a blessing for me to take off those 4 days. But I wasn't the same worker, and the manager that I had was mindful to some point. But the job that I had, I decided to change my job because first, the money wasn't providing me the money that I needed at the time, and the hours were, because I did a lot of night hours, and the night hours it will be hard for me um, to get a daycare, and it's kind of hard to get a daycare at night because you just don't want to deal with that, especially when you have kids that are grieving. So it's just like, who are you going to trust for that? So at the same time, I looked for a new job and the time of my grieving process, and it was best for me to do that. And maybe you want to do the same. Maybe the job that you are in, your manager is not mindful of your situation. Sometimes they're not, and they're expecting you to do the job how you did before, and it's kind of different now because, as I stated before, you probably are not the same worker. It's hard to focus now, so you're having a hard time focusing. You're feeling more sad. There's certain points, trigger points that you have that you now feel sad on your days. Like for me, I would check up my husband on afternoon, like we would do an afternoon text to each other. And just catch up on the day before he came home and be like, oh, what do you want for dinner? And that's gone. The small little simple text of how your day was, communicating with him. So now I don't have that anymore. Afternoon texts. So you're dealing with that at work. So now it becomes like a little trigger, and you feeling so sad, you start crying in your desk, like little moments like that. So now you have to check on your finances and do a budget plan. There's financial advisors, they can help you as that as well. Seeing how you can maneuver your money and seeing what a great budget plan you guys you have for yourself. So the third one is making sure that you get your rest in, because for some reason exhaustion and grieving is like you can never get a good rest. So sometimes it's really hard to shut off the mind, but there's so many apps of calming apps that you can have, or a different bedtime routine that can work for you. Making sure that you can sleep and get some rest so you can conquer the day, and making sure that you rested well. Making sure you drink a lot of water in the process of resting. Um, Learning the power of no, which I've learned that too. If you can't do it, don't force yourself into something that you can't. So I've learned the power of no. And the fifth one is learning something new about yourself that you didn't know before. Because as I stated before, you're a new person. Maybe you're ready for dating. And yes, you're going to find this guilt that you started dating. So maybe you want to start dating. Maybe you just want a companion where um, maybe you met another, maybe you met somebody that is experiencing the same loss as you. So maybe you want to start dating, or maybe not. Maybe. So I hope the video does you well. And the fifth one is giving yourself that grace and peace that you need to put one foot after another, because I know you can and you're capable of doing it. You're capable of having a happy life because you deserve it. You deserve happiness again and being content, and you can do it. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. We'll see each other on the next video. Bye.